up YouTube? Topaz Jace back for another daily review, and this one is to that Nas Systematic, and I'm giving this one the green light. But yet before anybody gets the wrong impression or whatever off this track, because a lot of people have been waiting on this next Nas album that he said that he's been working on. This is not that. This is honestly him getting on a soundtrack for those TV shows that's on HBO. I believe this one is Silicon Valley, where DJ Shadow is the ultimate one who's putting this together. And when you realize that, man, you see that this song is kind of a waste, because keep it 100, this is album quality material right here, where it kind of feels like futuristic Nas. But once your disappointment subsides from that, man, you realize that this is just a dope song, so you just need to take it for what it is, because we're not getting very many of these coming from Nas, because he's just not releasing much music. As in this song, he's ultimately trying to get people to feel everything that he's saying. So therefore in the beginning, he's talking about some very deep concepts and such, and then in the last verse, he's ultimately just giving you the recipes of exactly how you need to feel them and all of that. In the first verse, he's talking about the global phenomenon called white supremacy, and he breaks it down on how genocidal and homicidal it is, while comparing it to a pit bull that would eat its own children and all that in order to survive. And you know, that's a pretty good comparison to make when you think about it. How America destroys a lot of the youth and such, man, put them all into jail and all of that in order for America to continue on. And he's absolutely right about that. While in the second verse, he starts breaking down exactly what you need to do to feel what he's saying on this. Much like on the hook where he's saying you just need to cover your eyes, close your ears and all that, and just feel what he's saying. He's saying this is what you need in your system in order to feel him. And he's pretty much saying, get some cranberries, throw it on a skillet with some water, and then throw in some Hennessy and let it cook, and then simmer it down and let all of the berries and stuff just break up. But real talk, if you throw like some brown sugar and butter up in there, you might have a pretty good syrup, but that's a whole nother story. As he said one thing in particular that really caught my attention in this verse, where he said that mathematics is God's language and it's in his blood, which that is pretty dope. Because real talk, mathematics is the thing that is common amongst everyone worldwide, and how it all works together and stuff, man, it's rather unique. So it kind of can be God's language. But a quick recap here, man. The positives that I'm taking from this is that it's a really dope song. The negatives is it's a bit of a waste for it to be on a soundtrack. Like, we kind of all wish that this was like his lead single for his next album. But this concludes today's review, man, and now we're going to jump into a brief instrumental from underground producer DJ Cat before we jump into the news and then jump into an article from downloadpass.com. So have you guys seen that 50 Cent is working on a new drama, in which is called The Oath, and it's going to break down the police gangs and such that's out here, because honestly, that's exactly what they are. They are all but a legal gang that the government just relies on to enforce everything that they try to say. So I feel as though that could be a pretty decent show. I'm definitely going to be checking for that. But anyway, on to today's article from downloadpass.com, and today's article is about the expense hustle. For those of you who've seen the whole New Edition 3-part series on BET, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, this is the game that record labels and such will use on you in order to rob you for every dollar that you get if you sign a pretty bad contract. What they'll say is, okay, the budget that you had for your tour that may have gone worldwide or whatever, man, they're saying you went over budget and all of these expenses are tied to it, so therefore you really don't get any money. And that's how they did New Edition, or they went on a global tour and then got dropped off in the projects, which that was not right. But that was ultimately the deal that they signed, and this is why you gotta read the fine print. Like, all of the expenses cannot come out of your share. Now, given that New Edition was new to the industry, it kind of was going to happen to them one way or another, and they finally figured it out like the third go round, which they should have learned it the first time. But if you were gonna go on tour or anything like that, man, then you need to start keeping track of such things. Like, you need to keep track of how many people came and bought tickets in order to see you perform. And which that is not that difficult to figure out, man. Like, you just gotta know how many people are seated in a certain environment and know if you sold out. If you do that, then you should know exactly how much money they got paid right there, dude, because the ticket prices are usually rather standard. Then you gotta go around and ear hustle. Ask the lighting man how much it costs to do all of this. Ask all of these people out here that they got dancing for you or whatever, man. Ask them how much they getting paid. And then you calculate all of this yourself, because they're going to straight up bold-faced lie to you. Do not let them get away with the whole, these expenses were too high, this is why you're getting paid this. I hope you enjoyed the show. You can follow me at Twitter up there, and you can go to downloadpads.com, that's down there, to read today's article.